He was killed instantly and felt absolutely no pain. It wasn't like if we had better first aid or we had better medical facilities or we were faster to the hospital, we could have saved him. We couldn't. So if that's any comfort at all, Charlie didn't suffer. He was gone. Now, it is true, when we got to the hospital and they started working on him right away, they did get a pulse back. And so Rick and I were just, everyone's praying. We're just praying for a miracle. We had a small sliver of hope. And the doctor later said that we got a pulse because Charlie was a very healthy man, but the shot was catastrophic. So 20 or 30 minutes later, the surgeon came out and said he was dead. Now, first of all, the hospital staff and the law enforcement were amazing. When the three of us in the back of the SUV got to the hospital, we had to change our clothes. And so they all gave us scrubs. He was killed instantly. There was nothing we could do. We got to the hospital. I'm yelling at everybody, "Come on! Get on him!" At one point, one guy goes, "Sir, you got to stop yelling." I'm like, "Where are the, come on!" I mean, they responded quickly, but I expected them to be like outside, you know, and we pulled up and, "You don't know we're coming?" The ambulance that was sent for it passed us on the way. We're going there and it's going this way. And we're talking in the car, "Should we stop?" No, just keep going. Doctor later said that was the right call. Doctor comes out and says, "You need to call Erica." He had already called Erica, obviously. He sent a plane to get Erica. Erica's on her way. And if it's any comfort at all, I learned later that Charlie felt no pain. He died instantly. But we had to try and bring him back. We couldn't save him. And he did not suffer. That wound was too catastrophic. The doctor said if he had gotten shot in the operating room, we couldn't have saved him.
What did the doctor say when he came out?
Well, there was one doctor that basically said, "Okay, we have a pulse." So we're all praying out loud. We're like, "Come on, Lord, save it. Come on. Give us a sliver of hope here." The shot was catastrophic. Let me just put it that way. We couldn't have done anything.
He died instantly.
You had first aid there. He was killed instantly. The only comfort is that he didn't experience any pain, according to the doctor. He was just taken out. Got to the hospital and just ran him right in through the emergency room, and they had a team there, and they started pounding on him and started putting blood in him, and they did get a pulse, but later the doctor said that's just because he was healthy. Then they brought him into surgery, and about, I'd say, a half hour later, the head surgeon came out and said he's dead. If there's any comfort at all, and Erica would want you to know this, Charlie died instantly. There was a catastrophic shot. But of course we didn't. We just tried to revive him. As soon as we got to the hospital and handed Charlie off, the FBI was there and started interviewing each of us individually. One thing Erica did want everyone to know, because, look, she talked to the surgeon directly, that Charlie died instantly. And the details of that will come out in the investigation. It is true we got a heartbeat when we got to the operating room, when we got to the hospital, but that was just because Charlie was a healthy guy. His vertebrae, well, I'll let the report come out.
At the hospital. Even when I don't want to put the surgeon on blast because he was such a nice guy, but I didn't know, you never know if it's going to be an issue. So I was, making sure I was doing my due diligence, asking questions.
You did. I couldn't believe you had the wherewithal and the foresight to ask him hard questions even before Erica arrived.
Yeah.
But you did.
I definitely channeled my inner Charlie at that.
Mm-hmm. At least I know now that there's nothing I could have done.
Right.
I mean, he was gone when we got him in the car.
We learned later is that he didn't feel a thing. He was gone immediately. But of course, we were trying to administer first aid. When we got to the hospital, we did get a heartbeat, but that's because he was just healthy. You can have a heartbeat and still be dead.
Let me just put it this way without being too graphic. The three of us in the back seat had to change our clothes when we got to the hospital. Okay? We couldn't even stop the bleeding. We had to change our clothes.
The minute Charlie was hit with that weapon, the doctor told us he didn't feel a thing. He was gone. But we did what we could to administer first aid. And we got him to the emergency room. It seemed like they weren't ready for us, but within a couple of minutes, they started to attend to him and they got a heartbeat. They got a pulse. And the doctor later told us, because Charlie was healthy and young, they could get a pulse even though he had already expired. And then it was about 20 minutes later, after they went into surgery, the doctor came out and with the subtlety of a brick, he said he's dead. He didn't say, "I'm sorry, we tried everything." He just said he's dead. And what we had feared had come true. He was already gone. But of course, weren't sure of that. So we're doing whatever we can, got him into the hospital. Seems like we went into an empty emergency room. There was nobody in there. "Don't you know we're coming? Where are you?" Within 2 minutes, they were on him. Rick and I were praying out loud the whole time. The nurses were phenomenal there. As the doctors attended to him, they took us to other rooms and cleaned us up. And they took Charlie into the OR. They said, "We have a pulse." Rick and I are going, "All right, maybe. Mikey gets there, shaking. He's talking to J.D. Vance on the phone. We're all standing in the hall. The doctor comes out. I can't get this voice out of my head. "He's dead." "No." "I'm sorry." "No, we tried everything." With the tenderness of a brick. "He's dead. I need to talk to Erica." Mikey's on the phone going. Somehow Mikey pulled himself together, called who needed to be called, asked the doctors all the hard questions, got a plane to get Erica. Nobody had clothes. I didn't have clothes. I had to put scrubs on. We threw our clothes away. We get him to the hospital, bring him into the emergency room. "Where is everybody?" It's like, nobody there. "Don't you know we're coming?" About 2 minutes later, they show up. They get a heartbeat. Rick and I are praying out loud. We were praying out loud the whole way. Maybe there's hope. Maybe they can revive him. Tried CPR in the car. I didn't get anywhere with that. They take him into the operating room. By this time, Mikey shows up. He's walking into the emergency room talking to J.D. Vance. He's already sent a plane to get Erica. We're standing out in the hallway after the nurses were great. They cleaned us up and tried to minister to us. And then we're all standing out in the hall. The doctor comes out and says, "He's dead." "No, we're sorry. We tried everything. Just, he's dead." with all the tenderness of a brick. I need to talk to Erica, he says. I need to tell her before she hears it in the media. Mikey's on the phone going, what do I do? I can't get that out of my head. He's dead. In fact, the surgeon later told us if he was shot in the operating room, we couldn't have saved him.
He was killed instantly. We learned later from the surgeon that if Charlie had been shot in the operating room, they couldn't have saved him. He was already gone.
Then I FaceTimed you. We were talking.
You
saw I had blood on me.
So my brother calls and he can't talk. And he said, Charlie Kirk got shot. And I said, what? And he just broke down. I actually hung up on him and I started making calls. Your call came in, which was a FaceTime call. And yeah, you had blood on you. Okay, then I got the first call from Mikey.
Because I was in the emergency room after we got Charlie there. I called you.
I remember what you were saying.
Yeah.
Okay, so Mikey called and he said, Jack, get everyone in the world praying. There's so much blood. There's so much. We know that Charlie didn't feel a thing.
No.
He went from doing what he loved the absolute most to entering glory painlessly, instantly. And I think of the mercy of God and the goodness of God in that.
We tried. And as you know, when we did get to the hospital, they did get his heart started. And the surgeon later said, you can do that in a healthy person. They could already be dead, but if he's a healthy person, young person, strong heart, you can restart the heart. When they restarted the heart, we thought, hey, maybe there's hope. Rick and I were praying out loud the whole way. Currently, apparently, Charlie was somehow killed by a proximity bomb that killed him. And another problem with that, of course, or another accusation associated with that is that those of us that actually had tried to help Charlie afterwards and brought him to the hospital, we had to take off our clothes to get all that evidence of the residue from the bomb off, and we had to destroy all that so nobody would discover it. That's her claim, apparently. He was dead from the moment he was shot. But of course, in the back of my mind, I'm thinking, this does not look good. He's probably dead, but we got to try and revive him. And when we got him into the hospital, they did get his heart started because the surgeon later told us, although he was already dead, you can start a healthy person's heart even after they're already dead, because if the body is young and strong, you can do that. And that's what happened. And when we got that report, we're like, okay, who knows? Maybe there's hope. Maybe he'll make it. I don't know. So yeah. That's what happened.